Hello children, hope you all are in good health. Today I have come with a very interesting topic, a mission into Naga Hills from Nagaland Heritage Studies, Chapter 5. In this chapter, we shall learn how Christianity came into Naga Hills, the people responsible for this pioneering work of Christianity in Naga Hills. Before we start, let's have a look at the early life of Dr. Edward Winter Clark, whom we shall be referring as Dr. Clark. Dr. Clark, the American missionary, was born on February 5th, 1830 in Dutchess County, New York. He was baptized into this Baptist faith at the age of 14. He attended Worcester Academy from 1839 to 1841. He earned his master's degree from Brown University in 1857 and was ordained a preacher in 1859. Dr. Clark was married to Mary Mead Clark, who was from Armenia, New York. Dr. Clark is also known and remembered for setting up the first school in the hills and for his dictionary in our language and grammar. Dr. Clark arrived in Mulonkimong village. It's an Ao Naga village in Mokokchung district of Nagalnd. On 2nd March 1896, he set up the first Christian mission in the Naga Hills. In 1884, Mulonkimong became the center of missions to further the evangelization of the Naga tribes. Mary Mead Clark has documented their experience in Assam and Naga Hills in a corner in India. Here is an account of Dr. Clark's mission among the Naga Hills. The year was December 22nd, 1872. Preparations were going on for the baptism at the village pond. As he stood on the machang attached to his hut, he could see curious spectators from within the village and beyond, wandering about the pond in anticipation, despite the resistance that he had faced in preaching the gospel from the villages. Curiosity had got the better of them that day. They had all come to see what Christian rituals he was about to perform in the water. Prayers could be heard echoing from several hearts, simple, honest, and blunt prayers coming out of souls equally simple-minded and noble. They had to be coming from houses of those who were going to be baptized by him that day. It had to be the work of God that on the 4th day of his arrival at Mulonkimong, 15 converts were ready to take baptism. He could not have asked for more from him, who had sought to encourage him in his mission through these 15 people who were ready to receive Christ in their lives. Bold as they have always been, bold today, they stood to embrace a faith which would mean giving up a way of life and belief passed down from their revered ancestors. Back in his days at Sipsagar Mission Center, Dr. Clark could not have imagined a fruitful day like this happening in the dense, dark jungle which loomed above the plains with foreboding lures of headhunting had added to its eerie mystery. But the Lord had protected him thus far, and he knew then he had a mission for him there. He had worked to ease his fears in coming here. The eagerness of this people of Mulankimo to bring him here to their village, and the security they provided him by sending 60 warriors to escort him from Sipsagar, had been overwhelming. His eyes scanned the chapel built by the convert for their newfound faith a month ago in November. It must be the first Christian Baptist church in Naga soil. As he looked back upon the day he began his journey from Boston with his wife Mary, then they had thought preaching among the Indians would be their mission field, that they were actually destined to work among the uncharted territory and people had never crossed their minds. He remembers the first time he had encountered the Nagas. They would come down from the hills to trade in Assam and invariably find their way into their mission schools. They could be seen peering inside the classroom windows, fascinated by the teaching that was going on. Their interest towards education and the school system was obvious from the start. Meanwhile, he was equally drawn towards the strange people from the hills. Soon he was to befriend one of them by the name Supong Maran, a fellow evangelist from Assam by the name Godula Brown, who had worked earlier amongst the Nagas, along with Reverend Bronson, had brought him to meet him. A strong bond grew out of the acquaintance. Mutual education started among them. Godula and Dr. Clark taught Subong Maran the basics of English and Assamese language, while also sharing the Christian belief with him. Subong Maran in turn taught them about his people, his culture, and his language. It was Subong Maran who took Godula back to his village to spread the gospel, and it is owing to him that Dr. Clark was well received that day. Godula did the pioneering work for him there, while he was not permitted to ascend the Naga Hills by the British government. His successful mission resulted in him bringing back 9 converts for him to baptize at Sipsagar. Finally, he was there that day at Mulankimong with the baptism of the 15 converts. His life's mission will henceforth be among the Naga people. This is the calling for him. He can't wait to get back to his mission center at Sipsagar and share his experience with them. He will come back with Mary, and together they should spread the word of God among these people. That this is to be their mission field has become certain to him then. Thank you.